Welcome to the Toffee TV Podcast with me, Ped, Baz. Andy the Piv is here wearing a Crow t-shirt.
It's not the Crow like the film series. I'm not Brandon Lee who died. It's just a religion t-shirt that has a crow on it. What a great start.
It's 2019. Do you think anyone actually knows Brendan Lee and what happened to him?
Classic reference.
You know his son.
His last
dad. Sorry,
Bruce. His dad.
His dad. His son called Bruce.
Very strange.
His last film, wasn't it?
What happened? Very
In fact,
strange.
he died during it.
He shot him in the last days.
Got shot.
Yeah. And some other fella took over from him, didn't he?
And Bruce died making Enter the Dragon, didn't he? Or was it something else?
No, that's sacked, didn't he? Because he was like...
Don't.
No, he had one in the
Bruce Lee.
No, he was working out like 1,000 like doing 1,000 press-ups a day. He overworked himself.
Aspirins or tablets or something
Thin
killed
blood,
him, didn't
yeah.
he?
There's supposed to be a curse put on there, wasn't he? And he feared the curse.
Do you know that Bruce Lee never beat Chuck Norris in a fight except when he didn't have his beard?
I mean,
There you go. There's a fact for you.
There you go.
There's a fact for you.
I didn't even know he'd actually had a fight with Bruce Lee.
It's in a film. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a solid win by Bruce.
Okay, I mean that comes down to good writing more than anything else, more than actually
Good planning.
talent. Just more than talent.
Well, if anyone's seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but
I was about
to
say he was depicted really badly, and
Yes,
he was depicted
pretty arrogant man.
very arrogant. I mean, to be honest, if I was Bruce Lee, I'd be very, very arrogant. I mean, no one can get away with wearing a yellow tracksuit like him, apart from Dingo and Kill Bill.
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman,
Uma, yeah.
whose daughter was in Stranger Things Series 3.
Yeah, Maya Hawke, yeah.
I'm not being funny, but it all comes full circle. I mean, it doesn't, because we weren't talking about Stranger Things, but...
Or the Crow. But we were talking about planning. And it was good planning that, made Bruce Lee beat Chuck Norris.
I mean, there you go. I mean...
Bruce Lee works hard. Who's more talented, Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Well, think about it. The work that you put in Monday to Friday in the, in the... What's the judo place called? What's it called? The place they go... In a gym. What are they called? Dojo. That's the one. I should know that from Karate Kids. Anyway, that should show you on the Saturday when you fight Chuck Norris. Yeah. Much like... Everton.
So
hard work beats talent if the talent doesn't work.
So that brings us to Colleen Rooney. Oh my God, she battered.
Allegedly,
she's worked hard.
She has destroyed Rebecca Vardy there.
She is the Jessica Fletcher of our time.
She's worked hard there, Colleen.
She is.
Do you reckon she was like Columbo and just knew straight away who it was, like the second?
One more thing, ma'am. Well, she must have, because
she must have traps. She's just whittled it down, hasn't she? Bit like X Factor. She's
got
like
one who's a cop
camp who's got through. Bum, 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 bum. And like Vardy got right down to judges' houses. In fact, she got to live shows, didn't she?
Yeah,
and Colleen's just gone boom.
That's tremendous.
She's done well.
And she just outed her. Not even a recall before.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. Like, just to...
It was boss last line.
To have the bottle to just, like, go public like that, it's just... I love that. That's
right, though.
But it could never have been Rebecca Vardy. She's pregnant. You can't do things like that.
No. You can't. You just... When you're pregnant, you can't...
She said she's on holiday and it's ruining a holiday.
Oh, she's staying. She's staying in the 7-star hotel in Dubai, so I don't think she's having that bad
difficult, tough. Yeah. It's tough when you
love London.
I'd like to say it's destroyed Rebecca Vardy's character, but
what character did she have?
I mean, she was on. I'm a Celebrity when she quite clearly isn't a celebrity, but she was on the Jungle thing, and she come across as a massive knob on that.
Of all the rags, though. I
know. Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
First of all,
is that a shot? And the irony is, this is the woman who was going on about Liverpool winning the Champions League before it and stuff. And
well, look at poor Ben Stokes, because he spoke out against them. They're on it now, trying to say his wife beat her. Disgusting. Rag.
We know the way it works.
They are
we know the way it works.
Oh, she loves Liverpool.
Force people to come out and everything. Horrible.
Anyway,
fair play to Colleen. She is absolutely... It's like... That was literally like the best Mortal Kombat finishing move ever.
Do you think she was just sitting there, one of those like cigarette holders, just waiting to...
Just like like in the films.
Yeah.
Where he walks in and just sees like the silhouette with the thing. I've got it.
I've been caught out. Oh no, hold on.
He was like, I bet he was reading that going, oh, how's this going to end? How's this going to end?
I've had to put up with this. I've kept it to myself for so long. He's like that.
What? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
DC bar was quiet.
He's been a bit quiet at DC United in the last
few
weeks.
No one cares about soccer players do in America.
No, I know, but it's just that maybe that's what was on his mind.
He's done a big thing the other night, didn't he? A big thank you, and we go into the playoffs and all that.
And he's been to Derby.
He's only got a few weeks left, doesn't he?
Before he takes over from Cocker.
Full on dream team,
it is.
Derby County are becoming literally Harchester United.
And this has added another layer to it.
That's what I'm saying. Now you've got like the Lonsdale wearing fella with his bad snitch of a bird. Oh, Jamie Vardy, your bed is a cross.
Imagine Leicester get Derby.
How could you trust him in the dressing room, though?
You can't.
Because
you couldn't trust him with those long
To be fair, to Leicester, what I can't think of Leicester. What are their players giving out story-wise?
No, but James Maddison's on the up, isn't he?
Yeah, Maddison's one.
Loves a bag.
Yeah.
Went to
the defo Instagram of Maddison all day.
And Brendan Rodgers, come on.
Saying that though, before they all turned up, remember the old stuff that happened at Leicester was it Bangkok?
Yeah, Nigel Adkins' son won the title.
Nigel Pearson. Nigel Adkins' son's great. He's a great fella.
I've heard someone wants him to be Everton manager.
Nigel Adkins' son,
Billy Atkins or something.
It's not that bad. Yeah,
it was Nigel Pearson's son.
Leicester's but I can't imagine that'd be like, Tielemans going, went down the Asda, it was great.
Is that how he speaks?
Yeah, that's how he speaks. He's Belgium. That was a perfect Bel. That was like Paro.
I thought it was I thought you got the Flemish down there.
Yeah, it was like Paro. Perfect. That's
Hercule
with his big.
What's the other one? Oh, Margaret. That's French.
Tintin. That's the other one. There's Tintin.
You know, for Belgian fries.
Margaret.
That's it.
Not Margaret. I was thinking, who's Margaret?
Monkfish.
Monkfish. Gary Monkfish.
There you go.
He loves nature.
I mean, let's actually do that.
I thought we were doing it.
You're trying to just.
They don't listen
I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to massively stay away from turf.
I'm talking about the store. Well, everyone wants to stay away from turf. I
can't believe.
Let's be honest.
I can't believe Vardy did that.
Was that Colombo again?
It was a cross between Dyche and Colombo.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Dolumbo.
Kalash.
Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Dumbo. Yeah, so Belgium, I think we've cleared that up. Belgium make good beers and detectives.
Lovely monks. Great beer makers.
Lovely monks.
That's
Have you got that first hand?
Well, I don't even into that. It's a dark past.
I hope Colleen Rooney doesn't know you.
I know, yeah.
I'll be well sorted.
And
she
it
could
was.
have her own detective.
And it was.
No,
Friar Tuck.
Could though, couldn't it? She could have her own, for all we know. She could have her own
detective.
Yeah. Friar Tuck in the library with the candlestick. Steady on, Colleen.
Don't play Cluedo with it.
I mean, I don't know if she even speaks like that. Was she have to adopt this new voice to do it? Like, it's Friar Tuck in the thing with the candlestick, and I can show you why I set a trap with the candlestick.
CSI. Cry.
So basically, she has an Instagram just to block one person.
It's amazing. No, to feed the stories.
Everyone.
No, what she did, or she didn't. They would have just been like. So this happens, I suppose, all the time. If you're on a social media, someone block you, but you wouldn't know they'd block you. You just probably wouldn't notice.
Anything,
so you wouldn't notice that they were doing it, and she just basically had a hint who was doing it, fed her a load of nonsense stories, and
watched them appear in
the scum, and it was genius, absolute genius. Grissom couldn't plan it better.
She reckons she was like Papard in A-Team. I love it when the plan comes together.
Yeah. Big George.
Big old George.
Hannibal.
Yeah. No, he was Hannibal, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah, he was.
I was Liam
He was Papard.
Papard.
You're having a Mary. Margaret. Papard.
Isn't that like what...
He was a classic actor, Papard.
Isn't that what kids used to say in the old days to their fathers? Papard! Can I use the outside lavatory?
Steel bath in the kitchen, please.
I've got lice. I'm still referring to the
I thought it was just one of those moments.
I'm sure I watched Justin Lee Collins do the A-Team. Not literally. No, we used to do going back into...
That's why they called him Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Back of the net.
And we're not going to talk why they called the other one Face.
Oh my,
I've had a Pilsner.
No. Oh, he went to the Burnley.
He went to Burnley. I went to
Burnley, but I was teetotal when I walked in, and when I walked out, I was injecting vodka in my eyeballs.
Baby.
Right, come on, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the inevitable. So, Burnley.
And it was the inevitable.
It was the inevitable. Everton lose 1-0 to a goal from a set piece. Nothing. Jeff Hendricks again.
We've been caught out again, though. Like last season, as I said to Baz, Millwall got notes off a noted set-piece analyst and said that Everton don't mark the near post properly last season, so they sent people to the near post to flick it on, scored against us in the cup. And this season, people obviously know it's too narrow because every player's in the width of the goal, and that's why Ben Mee just stood there and watched the ball go, because he knew the exact plan for that corner, and Hendrick scored because Morgan Schneiderlin was getting hugged by James Tarkowski.
Well, you can say the name Morgan Schneiderlin, Michael Keane.
Oh well, he
pointing at him, going, "See him over there, he's free." It's like,
don't deal with
that's it. That is Everton's. I'll put this on Twitter. So that's Everton's problem in a nutshell. And though Michael Keane plays like he's in a nutshell, you can't. You can see him. He knows he's there, and yet he doesn't respond. It's just past the buck.
We're ready to say that he's only as good as his partner, and if his partner's not the perfect person next to him, he can't. But he's not.
No, I'm not putting blame on Keane directly. What I'm saying is that the whole Everton team is passed it on to the next person to do a job. Not be proactive. Not be
You're right there, because who takes this game by the scruff of the neck for Everton at the moment? You expect Delph to, I guess, because he gets in the field. He doesn't really. Iwobi was all right on Saturday, but again, Gylfi you'd expect, because he's your number 10, to try and take a scruff hold in the game. But
what annoys me about goals like that is that when you played like Sunday League, that stuff never happened. Because somehow would always scream, man at the back, who's got him? I've got two here. And it'd always be done. Always, because you're getting screamed at. That's all we get is Michael Keane going over there. It's just, it does me. It's so. It
is Michael Keane as well, but Schneiderlin should respond, shouldn't he? Just pass the man on, which is what we said
before they hit it in. Because as soon as they hit it in, the block's on.
The block's gone, then it's just it's being asleep. They'd had one in the first half, which they got free and Pickford saved with his feet, and that should have been the warning. Well, yeah. Chef Wed had too. It's been David Hughes, is it? Is it David Hughes? He's highlighted it.
He's very good, David.
The other day with shit, breaking up different aspects of the game of set plays, and if lads off Twitter, and I know he does journalism stuff as well, so
no, he does the journalism.
He's a journalist type thing. No, but he does.
Twitter analyst,
there isn't. I'm saying. But you're not employed by a club, are you, full time?
That's your job.
You are, but I'm saying those people on.
No, it's true, and that's one thing that's quite laughable. These football clubs have got so much money, they've got everything they need, and you can't even take stills of it. Set pieces.
I mean, you done it on our show on Patreon the other day. It's not hard to look at Everton and go, if we're playing them here, do this.
Everton have got some great analysts as well, so it's how the manager uses it at the end of the day, and how they put it into practice.
It's all people, even, listen,
it's the players as well.
The manager, he's had a little bit of a kicking, and rightly so in a lot of respects, and you're right, he's got to kind of get that data, and disseminate that back to the players. But the problem for me is, as Peds just pointed out, Michael Keane can see that. That's not something no one can see. So go and deal with it. Say to Schneiderlin, move over, I'll take him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is next to Michael Keane. Pickford's there. The way it was set up, it's not a danger.
No, you shouldn't get beat off a corner where the only aim is to hit one man. Usually you throw it into the middle, so there's no challenge.
That comes down to, like you just said, that's the lack of leaders in the team. That's the lack of someone taking responsibility. That kind of thing would never happen in, say, you mentioned his name before, funny enough, John Terry. John Terry is in a defence. Right, when he was at Chelsea, the minute he sees that, he either tells someone to do it straight away, or he just goes and does it and makes sure that, if you run over there, if you look and go, well, I've got Mina next to me, so we're covered here, and you go, well, I'm taking that, one of us has got to, then you've done your job.
Well, if you start running as that ball's coming in, even Hendricks then got an eye on you, so he doesn't get a clean connection. He had nobody.
And even if
Tarkowski wrestled Schneider.
And even if he does, there's a chance it could hit Keane rather than getting a
clean
strike.
If you actually look when he strikes it, right, you've got Michael Keane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin either side of Jordan Pickford. The three of them are just together, and it goes above them and it's like, what are you two doing? All right, I'm not blaming Pickford because it.
The shot never should come in against them from there.
That's what I mean. So you're looking and going, well, what are you two doing? You're either side of the goalkeeper. You're actually not doing anything, and with a goal down, and I mean,
it's interesting though, because Keane mentioned in the week about language and with Mina, and you just wonder whether, like, Mina's clearly been our best defender this season. He's been brains. If we had another centre back, Keane would be.
But last season, the Keane was heralded.
No, I know he was, but what I mean is that communication obviously is a big part of it. And you just think, if Mina if Mina had better English, or when he does speak better English, he might be taking responsibility in that situation. That's a big problem. I mean, listen, shouting and going A or something, you could do that, but it's not. There's just not players taking responsibility for actions on the pitch, and it you know, if you want to play good football, it starts with this kind of thing. It starts with winning battles and getting through games and saying, you know what, we're not getting beat today. This is what other teams do. This is where you gather enough points. Like if Everton had 10 points now or 11 points because they'd drawn 4 games or won one extra game and drawn one, we wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be sitting here going, yeah, it's been an alright start. It's not brilliant, but we know what, we've got through those games and we've had injuries and we're looking. Well, look, at least we're strong at the back, but we haven't, because players are not taking it upon themselves to grab the team. And you know, Delph's come in and he's tried a little bit, but you need players. You need more than one. You need 2, 3, 4 to grab hold of the situation and really lead and make sure that Everton aren't going to concede goals. You know, I was listening before to Rob Sloman talking about the 84-85 team, and he said, you know, when he brought Peter Reid in and Andy Gray, they were players who hated losing and they used to say we'd do anything not to lose, whether it was in the rules or not in the rules. And you look at this team and you just go, we've got half a dozen, maybe a dozen, which is more worrying, players who are just, when they walk off the pitch, if they've got beat, does it really affect them an hour later? I don't think it does.
But is that just modern day football?
I also think it's when you're putting you got, as well as scouting talent, putting a team together on the pitch, it's also a psychological profile you've got to put together. And you know, you'd say someone you bring in the team who's going to provide that winning mentality, but then you've still got Morgan Schneider. I'm not going to blame him for it, but I just think
I don't think he cares one bit.
Right, because he had his big move to United. He built himself up from Southampton, and now he's just playing the game.
You watch him play football, and I'm not having. Listen, I had a couple of years ago when he got sent off at Lyon. That's the day I just thought, you're not interested. I wanted him gone, and he didn't. He's come back and he's put some decent performances in, but when you watch him play, you know the minute he steps off that pitch, he isn't interested. He goes home, he's got his wife and his baby, and he's not interested. He doesn't care. And you know what? In a way, I'm not, like, I don't fault him for that. I fault the club for not seeing that straight away and going, lad, just go. Whereas, what's mad is, there's players who don't play for us, who are on the sidelines, who aren't getting games, who aren't even getting in the squad, who I think it would hurt them if they played. And that's Nias. I think it would hurt Nias. Tosin, yeah.
I don't think you can ever fault.
I think, do you know what? Maybe Tosin's hungry to prove people wrong, and that's why he should be in the team. I'm not saying I rate Tosin, but that is part of the thing. You know, we've signed younger players, and generally they should be more hungry if they haven't really reached the top and they're coming down. Keane's hungry to prove people wrong at Juventus, yada yada yada. And you look at Gylfi Sigurdsson, big fish in small pond at Swansea coming in. I don't know. I think it was David Maddox who said on the interview you did with him that he just doesn't think he's got the mentality for Everton. Yeah. I thought that was a great shout. I never thought of that before, but that's a great shout. And I think there's other players. I think that the issue still is hanging over from that Walsh Koeman era. There's certain players that are still involved with the side, and there's a couple of others, but with them still on the team and still being relied on week in, week out, it's not working in that sense as well.
Yeah, it's a whole mismatch. Yeah. You know, you look at players and you're talking ability-wise, then yeah, they've got more than enough ability, Everton. Where I would agree with certain people when they say Leicester are better than us, and that they've got people who want to win, like Vardy. We've just been talking about Vardy. You know, the lad, all right, he might have the worst trainings ever, and all stuff like that, but he wants to do well because he's had to fight for everything he's got. Other players, Maddison wants to prove a point. You know, whether it's a move away, which I think he thinks he's Man United bound, fine, but he's still putting it in. No problem with players wanting to better themselves, as long as you deliver it for your club. Where other teams, teams as well, like teams like Bournemouth, who I think Everton are far superior to, Wolves, who I think Everton are much better than in terms of quality of player. I think Wolves have got people like Matt Doherty, who comes on them. They make great changes that we can want to do well. Connor Cody wants to do well. That's running through the team.
I think it's the club as well. Like
don't you think, and I've always held this, and it's something I said a couple of weeks ago, don't you think that's actually what makes a good player, is the talent only takes him so far? And I said, I don't know if I've said this on air, but I'm going to say it now. So Liverpool, obviously, people have gone on about Dean and gone on about Robinson, about who's the better left back. Well, the better left back's Robinson. And the simple reason why the better left back's Robinson,
Robertson.
Whatever, I don't care. Whatever people say about what they do or what their stats are, one's willing to run through a brick wall for the football club, and he hasn't probably got as much talent as Luca Dean, but delivers more because he's willing, because of where he's come from, understands that he got a big chance at a football club. The manager took a shine to him because of his attitude, and has made him so much of a better player, and that's what makes him a better player than Luca Dean. Is because, and I'm just picking that out because that's one that people go, well, Luca Dean's amazing and he's the best left back in the league. He's not the best left back in the league. He's not the best left back in the league because when the going gets tough, he goes missing, like most of our players. Whereas someone like Robinson, they don't go missing.
See, I disagree.
He's not a problem.
I disagree with that too.
So you honestly think Luca Dean, his performances are acceptable when the chips are down?
I think if you put Andy Robertson in Everton's team, it'd be exactly the same as Luca Dean.
I
watched the Hull. He was bang
but
average.
That was a Hull.
So, all right, let me flip it to you this way then. If you put Luca Dean in Liverpool's side, would he be doing... If he'd be mild, there wouldn't even be a conversation.
I'm not talking about... I'm not talking about...
Because he'd have 40 assists.
But I'm not talking about...
He'd have 35... But you are...
But I'm not. What I'm talking about is when the going gets tough, we don't have... I'm talking about when the going gets tough, our players simply don't have the personalities or the will to go past their talents and give the extra. None of our players do. We've got a team full of rejects from other clubs, and I think that's
always gonna have that.
Every team's got it. Literally every
club.
Liverpool are built on rejects.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a team full of rejects, and none of them are pushing for that extra thing. None of them, not one of them are. Not one of our players are. I only pick Luca Dean because that's a comparison people make because he was our best player last season. But the difference...
So do you think he even last season, so he went missing last season?
No, what I'm saying is when the going gets tough, where are they?
The going was tough last season, he didn't go missing.
He's still our best player last season.
Exactly.
When it's tough, when you need your players to stand up, when you need your players to drag you through, that's my point I'm making, is that none of these players...
I kind of understand what you mean, but
I wouldn't point him out.
He's not the one.
It's not him.
I think he's there every week for us.
I understand why you put him out, because that comparison, I do get that, because Robinson, from the first minute to the 90, literally, whether he's playing well or not, just runs through brick walls.
So on that basis then,
he's not as talented.
On that basis then, the Ash should play instead of the Charles.
No, because he doesn't run through brick walls.
No, but he does.
He doesn't.
The one thing Umani Ash does is he doesn't stop running. And sometimes, unless someone said to him, this is the stand, he'd be running up the street and down the exit.
But the point is, Robinson has elevated himself as a better player.
I think it's easy to highlight players when they're in a top side.
No, it's not, because the lad got himself into being Liverpool's left back by doing that in the first place.
He got codes dropped from the team for 10 games, didn't he? And Klopp said you've got to work hard, and he proved himself and got back in the team.
I'm not Andy Robertson is a brilliant left back. He's an absolutely brilliant left back. For me, Luca Dean's better because he's a better footballer. He's got more talent. His stats prove he's a better footballer.
This is my whole point, though. Talent only takes you so far.
Okay, if Everton had 3 players who ran through brick walls, we'd still be where we are.
I don't think we would.
I don't think we would. Hold on. You need water carriers as much as you need talent.
I'm not some water carriers.
No, but
does Dombrey run through brick walls?
Hang on. Right. The last thing for the last 10 years, right, has been about the two best players in the world, Ronaldo and Messi, right? Messi is it's a God-given talent that he's got, clearly. Ronaldo, right, as what I'm saying, this is the point I'm making, is that Ronaldo has pushed himself and run through brick walls to get himself to where he is, and that's what I'm saying.
Who's the best player in the world?
The second best player.
Messi's the best player.
Okay.
No, I know. But the point being is that Ronaldo got himself into the conversation.
I know he did.
By
same as
doing
Andy
that.
Robertson has, but Luca Dean's still better.
I don't think he is.
Fine.
Because I watch him and
that's
I go, what he...
No, but I watch Andy Robertson getting skinned.
But the point, I'm not picking out Luca Dean. What I'm saying is, with some characters, with some players who elevate your club, and he's him, and everyone else is not.
He's not the problem, though.
No, I'm not saying.
I know,
but because he's the best player. That's
I wish saying he's lead. I get you.
I wish Dominic Calvert-Lewin would run through, because but that was what I was told he did. I was told he gives everything.
I wish they all did. But the point being is, you're only as good as your best player, aren't you?
On the flip side of that, though, would they run through brick walls of the manager inspired them?
I think sometimes, right, and I'll be with Baz on this, I'm sure, players have got to do for themselves.
Correct.
Players have got to stand up and go, you know what? I'm not asked about what he says.
Yeah.
Then that's where I go back to the Keane thing. I'm not being funny, right? If that fella over there is unmarked and you know he's going to get a chance on goal, everything that fella that got told you that you already probably think is nonsense anyway, you just go, and then you know what? You deal with that after the game. If the manager comes up to you and goes, "Why'd you do that?" You go, "You know what, mate? Because if I hadn't, he would have scored."
Yeah. The problem with modern football, though, is there's no consequences for players.
No, I agree.
So this is why when Michael Keane doesn't do that, he probably thinks he's going to get sacked in 2 weeks anyway. But I'm not saying he thinks that. I'm just saying that's the type of attitude the footballers have now.
Well, that's crept in, hasn't it? There's loads. Like you're seeing it with Spurs, aren't you?
Player powers.
We had the conversation about Tottenham. You know, when all that Pochettino's done for them as a club. Don't forget when he went in, they were basically. They were like us, weren't they, really? Yeah. I mean, they wanted Moyes for a few seasons because they wanted to improve. Yeah. So, and now you're seeing them getting a bit bored now. Yeah. You know, a bit bored. I can't be arse working that hard. I want a break. We've had a go. We've nothing. For all we know, they might be looking at Pochettino and going, "Well, you've won nothing. You've told us to do this for years, and we haven't won anything." Harry Kane said that when they got battered in Europe the other week, or when they were winning, in Europe, and it ended up 2-2, or Olympiacos. He was like, the manager's been saying it for 5 years, we're not kids anymore, we still should be. So why is he feeling like he's got to come out and say it? Because that's what players are. I had the conversation with you before about you bring a new manager in. The players go, "Who's this? I'm not running for him," or "I'm not there." Because that's modern day footballers. So the real problem is how you combat that, right? And at the moment at Everton, like I said before, there's a lot of talent in that squad. There is. People can't say, "No, they're not the crap." They're not crap. They're not crap. They're not showing the talent. That's fact. Newcastle, Sunday. Newcastle won a war of attrition on Sunday against Man United. Horrific game. And the only thing that got them through was that they battled. They went above their level, right? Which is, Benitez has done it with them for 2 seasons. Yeah. Sheffield United come to Goodison and just battled. There wasn't a single Sheffield United player I'd take. Not a single one. And they battled and got a clean sheet and won the game 2-0. And I know what you're saying. You're right. But I think it takes more than 1 or 2 players. I think you've got to have half a dozen lads who go, this is when people criticise Richarlison, right? This is why I let it go in one ear out the other. Because he was crap on Saturday, right? But he still ran. He put tackles in. He tried to win headers. He tried to do something in the game. Right? Because as a footballer, and this is at any level, whether you're a kid playing with your mates, whether you're Sunday league, whether you're Saturday league, you won't play well every game. You won't, no matter how good you are. You turn up and some days it just doesn't happen for you, right? So the thing as a fan you should expect from your players is that they work hard, they run and try, and then it's up to the manager then to go, and he's having a Mary and bringing them off. But if he has to bring you off because you're walking around the pitch, and that goes back to Sneijderlin. Sneijderlin's great at picking the ball up and getting 90% pass. I could get 95% pass completion rate in the Premier League at my age. Getting the ball and just going, "Yeah, you ped, you have it. I don't want it." Making sure you get there. And this is why when Tom Davies plays, people criticise 68% pass completion. Well, yeah, you know why? Because he's trying to play through balls. Yeah. He's trying to get people away where you're going 1-2, 1-2, and all the way through. Michael Keane, it's a brilliant point. There's the danger, but I'm not going to do it. Because if I go and do it and he still scores, you're going to point the finger at me. Instead of going, he isn't scoring, he's not scoring, straight over there. Either shove Sneijderlin over or go and deal with it yourself. It doesn't happen anywhere on the pitch. Our captain gets away with a red card at the end of the first half, comes out for the second half, sees a lad 5 yards inside his own half going for a header, and what does he do? Instead of just going, "I'm 30, I know how to play the game," and dropping back 2 yards and letting him flick it on and taking it on your chest and starting an attack, goes careering into him trying to go for a header he was never ever going to win, loses it, man sent off, and Everton, and that's your captain, and we're in the crap. So if your captain's making stupid rash decisions like me breaking this mic, then what hope have we got for other players? What hope have we got for Dom? What hope have we got?
The problem is that, again, a good point there is that you mentioned Richarlison. It's Coleman, it's Sigurdsson, it's Luca Dean who have carried the armband in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Keane's one of the most senior players in the squad. They're the players letting you down. It's not the Richarlison's letting you down. It's not Tom Davies when he comes into the team. It's not Bernard if he gets a chance. it's these players who are supposed to be our leaders. They're the ones letting us down.
Why does no one ever go to Keane? No, that's the thing I'm starting to look at now. Saturday when he was Nobed was sent off. Right. Why was it over to Sigurdsson for the armband?
Because Keane. I know.
Michael Keane's a centre back.
But Keane is not. He's
obviously not a leader.
He's not one of the two.
Well, that's nonsense.
No, I know. It's Dean and Sigurdsson.
I don't believe in the captain.
No, I don't. I'm just using that as an example.
But what I do believe in is that Keane is a centre back.
Delph should have had the armband.
Keane's a centre back and should be, and you would expect that, and especially at Everton where we've seen, some of our finest, any moment you see a trophy lifted, it's a centre back who God, think about LeBone.
Exactly.
Think about LeBone. Think about what Dave Watson.
Imagine Waggy in this back four. Imagine Waggy playing next to Keane. Playing next to Coleman.
They wouldn't get a minute's rest, would they, after the game? They'd be getting marched down the training.
Waggy at 37. Would have been over there.
Richard Goff would have done it.
Richard Goff
was incredible.
Well, can I just say something about I think this is also a problem as well, right? So what do we have? About 18 months ago, Schneiderlin and Morales marched off the pitch.
Yeah.
Now they spent all summer with the team this season. If you don't, I'm not saying again, this is the manager, but it's also the club again. Why aren't they getting rid of these bad eggs out of the squad and going, right, we want to set a new, this is a new atmosphere.
He's done it with Nias, didn't he?
Yeah, but Nias isn't really a problem though, is he?
No, but I'm saying, that's why I mean, he's done it with Martin and Nias, they're not with the first.
Just don't have to
the Snyder thing's mental to me because he's had 2 or 3 opportunities, issues at the club where the club should have just gone, if we get an offer we need to get rid of this fella. We know we know that he has been a bad egg, but I think what basically he's done is he's just gone, whatever, I'll stay here, I won't stay here, I'll play, if I play I play, if I don't I don't.
Listen,
and so you've got
he's got his head down,
but what I'm saying is though might have got his head down, but I don't think there's no love for it. It's just I'll play and whatever. And you think, well, hang on, straight away you're losing 25% of something in there, then aren't you? 25% of something else.
It's having that job that you don't enjoy, right? But you go in and you'll just do enough to get by, right? If he's a 30-year-old central midfield player now, right? Who's played for France, he's played for United. He comes to Everton. Listen, you hear all kinds, don't you? But apparently he feels as though he's better than Everton, or has done at some stage, right? But that's that. Listen, players of confidence and all that, right?
Actually, you wish that every player thought in the sense they want to play for.
When he's playing in our team, you're only getting in the Premier League, right? If you drop off 5%, you're destroyed. It noticed. People can notice it. Hence why, if Everton play Sheffield United and they come on and think this Sheffield United today, we'll beat these. You drop your level, it's dead hard to get back into the game because they know that they've got to play at their level. The best teams, like Liverpool, will go with it every single week. Every Liverpool player has to put that effort in, right? So it is on the manager, this, because he keeps picking someone who quite clearly the fans look at and go, and I don't want to put everything down to Snyderland because it's not him. But what I mean is he's just one symptom of it. If you look at a midfield player in a league that demands mobility, it demands pace, it demands people to be able to do more than one thing, one job, and you're putting a one-paced lad who literally just likes to pass it 3 yards and occasionally he'll switch the play. How is that going to help this team? You put someone in like a Tom Davis who's got the heart on the sleeve and who will snap people and will try to get us playing and move around the pitch. Okay, he's not the greatest player in the world, but he's never ever going to get any better either by not playing.
And the mad thing is as well is that Snyderland, somewhat leaders. Snyderland's been here nearly 3 years, hasn't he?
He's been here since 2017.
He's been here January 2017.
Been here nearly 3 years, and if you looked him on the pitch, you just go
16.
You're a stranger to this club.
Koeman's 17. January said just. You just
16, think you're a stranger to this team. You don't look like you're one of the lead. You should be one of the senior players, and yet you just walk around in your own world, do your job, get off.
It's like his fourth season.
You look at like when Wenger came in Arsenal, he binned all the ones who had the drinking culture because he wanted professionalism. You look at Klopp, he did like Sakho's attitude around the team. He was probably his best centre half at the time. Out you go, son, because you're not right for me. You look at Roy Keane when he did that off the ball interview, said that the senior players set the tone, and if they're the best trainers, they're doing the best fitness work, they're the fittest of the club, that makes every other player want to reach that. Is that happening at Everton?
I seen the guy telling before I was watching the Keane thing, and he was talking about United specifically, but he said, what young player in that dressing room is looking round? Who's he looking at and going, I want to be like him. In 10 years, I want to be that pro. I want to be Jesse. He said, there's not a single one in there. He said, the greater, flossing and all that. He said, there isn't a single one in that dressing room. Where if you come in, and he was talking about Wan-Bissaka, who's just come to the club from Palace, having no winning mentality because Palace aren't expected to win. He said, where's the people who you look at and go? He said, when he went in, he looked around, he said there was 10 players. He looked at and went, I need to be like that. At Everton, which is what, going back to what you said about Rob before, Peter Reid and Andy Gray, when we spoke to them, they've said, you come into a dressing room with loads of talent, right? Young quiet. Young players, no one really, level standards, no one to kick each other up the arse and go, what are your standards? They came in and were like, these are the standards that you have to get to, and they lead by example. Well, where's Everton's? When you look in that team, it's loads of good footballers, loads of ability. Probably, and people might laugh, and that's fair enough, but for me, the most talented squad we have had for years. Years.
Pound for pound, it is.
For years.
On paper,
Options and everything. We've had good players under Moyes, 11 players. We've got a really good squad. But it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
But this way though, it's like mob mentality, isn't it? You go back to Moyes and you think, right, we're going to go to Stoke, let's say, and you think if it goes off today, Kale's going to be in there, Fellaini's going to be in there. But then what happens then is, Arteta follows in, and he's like, and then the next one follows in. They all follow in. Whereas you look at this and you go, no, but you watch this though and you say, if it went off, who's jumping in? Well, Pickford's going to run 90 yards. Okay, sound. And then who's next?
Seamus will be in there.
All right, Yeri will be in there. All right.
Oh, Yeri will be in there. I've got no problem with Yeri. Yeri's character seems sound to me.
But what I mean is that
I know what you're saying.
There aren't enough of these players who are willing to
stand up for yourself.
In terms of Coleman, Coleman's been at Everton now for 9-10 years. It's been 10 years. He's as your captain, you want someone to set the standard again, don't you? I like Seamus, and he's been fantastic for Everton. But Everton's just been mediocre since his time. And if he's the leading light in the dressing room and he's demanding it from you, players coming from Arsenal, players coming from Barcelona, there's a mentality gap there because there's a different, it's unacceptable. Andrew Gomez at Barcelona felt the full brunt of everything because it was unacceptable, his performances. And at Everton, is the same level of unacceptableness. I don't think there is at the club. I think the fans demand it, always will. But this is the problem. Do the club demand it? Is the club demanding the best? And now they tell players when they come in, we're going to win things, or is it, we're looking to do this?
No, it's a 3-year plan or it's a 5-year plan.
They
it's not. You better get me this. I did hear Phil McNulty last night saying something about Silva, and he said, he was expected to get Europe this season in the league. Maybe that now it'll be the Watford game that dictates what his future is in the League Cup. But why aren't we hearing that from players then? Players come. Doesn't have to be the manager. Doesn't have to be the owner or the chairman. Why aren't players coming out and going, we've got to get Europe this season for these fans. We've got to try and win a cup for these fans. No,
Coleman said it. He hasn't said about Europe. He said about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Why aren't they saying we need to get top 6? Why aren't footballers in general a little bit more bullish and say we've got to?
Why will they? Because then the highlights.
But that's the point, isn't it?
When do you ever see Everton players in front of the camera?
But that's the point, though, isn't it?
Because Everton want them in front of the camera.
It's Everton expects, isn't it? Well, Everton doesn't expect anything anymore because the players just come in, get a free ride, and then get off. The manager the same. There's no Everton expects anymore because it doesn't exist. No one expects us to do anything, and if the players aren't setting the standards for themselves, then or they're not getting the standards explained to them, then how's it going to ever drip down to? If a player doesn't come out and say, got a young bunch of lads, but we've got to drag this through. They might be kids, but we've got to become men now, and we've got to make sure we do this and we do that. Never did ever. Seamus Coleman goes in front and it's great. It's all that fans deserve better and fans deserve this and fans deserve that. That's nonsense. No fan deserves anything. The point being is though, you don't hear them go, this unacceptable this, unacceptable that. We should be. We've got to be.
I think that only goes far as backing it up though. It's great to say it. It's all lip service. You've got to then go out and prove it, and then you can sit there and go, yeah, I've done that interview. done that interview 6 weeks ago because we were at our low. It was poor. We were poor. And look what's happened. We've all raised our game. We've won 5 out the last 6 games. And then people go, now that rally call worked and it means something. Everyone's done a rally call so far.
No, I mean, I'm saying no at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm not saying a rally call. What I'm saying is that senior players coming out going, you know what, we need to do this.
Let people know, like I said, let people know what your ambitions are. Why is it secret? We know what our ambitions are, but we're going to keep it between us.
We've said this for years about Everton. The communication between the club and the fans has not been the best. For all we know, Marcel Brands can be very happy with this as a 3-year project, but we don't know that, do we? So our expectations for the season, due to the top 6 muddling itself, was we're going to get in the top 6. But is that really realistic? Is that the club are looking at? Who knows? Right,
let's move this on. Let's go. Let's finish this part. Go to part 2.
We lost 1-0.
We won.
Did we? And let's talk a little bit about Marco Silva after the break. Welcome back to the Toffee TV Podcast, where calm heads are prevailing. So Marco's under pressure. Yes, no, Andy?
Under pressure?
Would you sack him?
Yeah, today. And I don't mean to be nasty, right? And I don't. And honestly, I do sort of feel bad for him in the sense that. Well, he's brought a lot of it on himself, of course, but then again, I don't know. There's a problem in this. When I look at it, I always look back to what's the most fixable part of this whole situation. You can't sack 5-6 players. You're not going to do that. So the manager, the manager's going to go. The new manager's going to have to come in and inspire these players to do better until we can right the wrongs of the squad, which is going to take probably another 2 windows, maybe. And I just don't think Marco Silva's the man. I look at him and I look at how it works on the pitch. I look at how we attack. I look at how consistent the poor defending is, and there's only one solution for me, and the fact that he's not the right man for the job. And whether he's been a good coach elsewhere, but it just obviously hasn't worked, and he's become safe, unconfident. He's just sticking with his own hand because he's scared that shit go away from it in case he gets beat, in case you have a good bad run of results. I don't think he's got any more ideas. I think he's run out of ideas. And what's going to happen at West Ham is he's only going to play that safe, same formation of experienced players. If Walcott's back, I think he'll probably play to try and see him through a game. And that's completely wrong because that's just setting the tone for it's going to be the same going forward. He had his chance to change after Villa when it really didn't work that night. And and then the League Cup, he sort of experimented, but as soon as the league, which is your bread and butter, of course, comes back, it's back to the same old Schneiderlin Sigurdsson combo in midfield. And I just think he's run out of ideas, I'm sorry to say.
Burnley was his chance, I thought, to start messing with the team, but what do you think, Baz?
Yeah, I feel sorry for him because I think he's quite clearly a good coach, but I don't know whether he looks worried at the moment, and I think when you're a manager that feels pressure, feels worried, you do try to go safe, like Andy's just said, and that's what he's tried to do, which for me is the exact opposite of what he should have done. After the Bournemouth game would have been the one for me. I can kind of understand why he started with that team against Bournemouth, with Schneiderlin in there, with Delph and stuff. Let's see how it goes for an hour. But that day, for me, the way the last half an hour unfolded, that we give 2 goals away in 3 or 4 minutes, and there's no real response. Sheffield United at home was the opportunity for me. One defensive midfielder, go attacking, they're coming. We knew what they were going to do. Yeah. We knew it wasn't a surprise to us. Same with Burnley Saturday, and he didn't. And then City was was it better? Wolves would just beat them. But Saturday, once I seen that team at 2 minutes past 2, it was like he's a manager that often speaks about solutions. And I'd like to say this to him and ask him, if you're talking about solutions, then how can you justify not trying to find those solutions? Because for me, if you're just playing the same thing and hoping it works, you're not really looking for solutions. If you've got 11 players, like he had last year, and he thinks, listen, I only really trust 11 or 12, you'd go, all right, I can understand what you're saying, but we just put another 6 in the summer, so he's got 12 or 13 players who are who's come in under his watch, right? And we still had good, and that's taking out the likes of Jordan Pickford, who's England's goalkeeper, so you can't moan about him. Michael Keane plays for England, whether he's playing well or not is a different thing, of course. We've got Tom Davis in there, we've got Cenk Tosun, who's at Turkish International. There's players in and around the squad, even with his 12 players. If he'd have mixed things up, if he'd have gone and playing Delph, Iwobi and Davis today, midfield, or Sigurdsson's dropping back into a 3 and I'm going high with these 3, I think Evertonians would have gone, you know what, he's looking, he's trying to just find the best permutation to get us on a run. I think the worry is when you start battening down the hatches and trying to get players who are safe to try and drag you through a period this early into it. You know, he's 16, 17 months in. Spent more money than any other Everton manager. He's got to have more confidence in where we're trying to go, and we just seem to be regressing, and that's a worry for me. But he can still turn it round, but it's whether you're going to have the freedom in your decisions.
Well, we'd lost 3 games in a row. That gives you the ultimate freedom to do what you want. For Saturday's game, we could have easily have put Iwobi, Davis and Delph in the centre midfield, and I think that would have been enough, with Richarlison on one side, Bernard on the other side, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Moise Keane through the middle. I think that would have been plenty, absolute plenty to beat Burnley. But he didn't. He went safe, and he went with the same people who've been letting us down, Slide and Sigurdsson, and whether people want to hear it or not, Coleman's been letting us down. He's been letting us down for weeks, never mind what he did on Saturday. And he doesn't. And I actually think by bringing those 6 players in, it's actually confused them even more. Because I think he likes having a small squad. I think he likes working with a small set of players. I don't think he likes having this, and that's worrying because the best managers have decent size squads and can handle that, and I don't think he can. And you made a good point when you first started about being a good coach. I think he might be a good coach. I just don't think he's a good manager.
Yeah.
I think he might be a good coach on the training ground, but when it actually comes onto a match day, when you've got to make tough decisions, and maybe that's where losing his assistant, who maybe was the wall to bounce off, as helps. I think losing him, having Bo Morte is great for him because, you know, come in and speak the language, but it's someone you mightn't have full trust in. And I also don't like the idea of that when times get tough, if he's got a dressing room where they all suddenly go into a corner and start speaking Portuguese to each other and start sort of ostracising themselves to everybody else. I think that's a worry as well, because I think you start getting devoid of ideas then. And
especially when you've got Duncan Ferguson in your coaching staff and he doesn't speak Portuguese.
Yeah, exactly. And when you've got
players there who are going,
yeah, exactly. You've got to respect the process and where you're at. And for me, I think maybe he is a good coach, and I think you can get away with being a good coach in other places, and that's enough. But I don't think in the hustle and bustle of the Premier League, where you've got to make judgments on players and handle the egos and play, as we've mentioned before, players who are just there to do a job and they're not really that arsed about representing the club. They're just there to pick up a wage packet. And you need more, and I just simply don't think he's got it. I think he's completely run out of ideas now. I think you've seen that in the last few games. His body language is just atrocious. I've said this before. I think someone they have a field day with him. The way he reacts to situations, he just.
Yeah, but I suppose that's born out of frustration because
he hasn't got the right to be frustrated.
They work every single day on things, right? And they might be sound at it in training, yeah. And then let me finish. And then you go into a game, and they give a goal away. And then
it all falls apart.
Right, so I think he could be, because there's a lot of managers like this who are brilliant coaches and set up brilliantly, yeah. But then the minute you score first against them, the plan goes out the window, and they don't know, and that comes down to.
I'm going to say it doesn't set up brilliantly.
I haven't
finished.
Let me just say one thing to that, right? Just one thing to that, right? Do you think a good coach should be looking ahead of a game and saying, I think that they might do this against us?
Of course.
So you look at the last couple of games, the Sheffield Wednesday game, and go, right, the outside's overloaders at the back post. These are a bread and butter football team. Do you think a good coach?
That's where my defence falls down.
Do you think that's where a good coach sets up and goes, right, lads, these are going to try and do that?
But the whole point of zonal.
No, I know.
No, but I'm saying the whole point of zonal is so you don't have to do that. But like you said before, we're too narrow on the zonal. Zonal's fine. We were in a decent line. We were in the right area where we should have been, but someone should have had the balls to step over. But what I'm saying about Silva, you can come back now, and I know you're jumping. But some coaches are good at setting up, right? So all week we'll do a shape, we'll get into shape, we'll play like this, and then you get out. So the players do that, and it all looks good on the training ground with no pressure, with people not fully snapping into you, trying to air you. You haven't got the worm-eating gravel man on the side shouting and screaming, and he likes to tuck that shirt in, Dice, doesn't he? He likes to have it full tucked into his back.
To see me belt.
The coat comes off, doesn't it? The tie. Looks like a doorman, doesn't he? On the side.
I got this belt for Christmas, I've got to show it off.
That's what he's like. But But then once the game moves away from you with a goal, the best coaches are able to adapt. The best coaches are able to go, I need to do this and this to change this. Maybe he's not great at that. And that's what I'm saying. Good coach, good training ground coach, players like what they're doing. I said to you before, and then that I will finish then. I read an interesting bit about Portuguese coaches in particular, which is work on the defence, work on the shape of the midfield, right? Don't work on the attack, because the attack's off the cuff. So that to me is a worry.
So you think he's not really Portuguese?
He's Portuguese.
You know what I'm going to say, right? Is I think that he is a good coach, but I have these like overarching questions of, right? So basically we've set up the same way for the last 6 games. Essentially, right? So then you come to Burnley, right? And if you search on Google low block, a video by Tifo comes up, and it tells you exactly what Burnley can do. It's based on Burnley's low block, right? So you go look
check
at Burnley.
out Tifo football if you want to. People would ask them what the low block is, so it'll explain it to you.
So if you go and you go to yourself, well, actually they're playing narrow, so we don't want to cross it because they want us to cross it. Are you telling me that this is what the disconnect for me is? Is he setting them up to cross it that much again against the team that wants you to cross it? That to me is just, as I say, maybe with too much vitriol, brainless, right? But to me, it just doesn't connect. I just don't understand.
Well, we crossed the ball a lot less at the weekend.
25 though, still.
Yeah, but it was 42 against Sheffield. The Sheffield United one was the problem.
Our average is 23 for the season, so it's around that average. So you look at it and you think to yourself, surely you'd look as a manager who's seen the pitfalls of playing this way against certain sides who's sitting at low block, I'll change it up. Lo and behold, we play exactly the same way.
Why is Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the team?
Well, to head the ball, essentially, I think.
Okay, so you're gonna a basic but a basic manager would say, right, we've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin's in the team to head the ball because he's good at heading the ball. So he's only gonna score goals if we cross the ball into areas for him to head the ball. He
scored 2 with his feet against Chef Webb with different type of service.
Just saying to you.
No, I agree with you.
I'm just saying to you. Because otherwise, if we're not going to cross it...
Is he been typecast wrongly, though? And this is my issue. Yeah.
But hang on. Dom, and I'm not defending or having a go at Dom, but if Dom's the only man in the box, it doesn't matter whether you are Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah, no, we're not.
That's
no, but all I was saying was, I know you've heard me say this, but what I'm trying to say to you is, I understand why they'll cross the ball when he's in there because that's his biggest attribute. But it doesn't work for the reason what you just said. Is last season nobody flies into the box.
But last season we'd just been beaten by Spurs 6-2. We went to Burnley and was like, right, I'm going to do something different today. He played 3-4-3 and we won 5-1. He obviously looked at how they defended and went, right, I'm blitzing these. I can cope with everything they throw at us because I've got 3 centre backs who will deal with that all day. I'm going to push the full backs right on.
Brilliant.
I'm going to get 3 up front.
What we should be
I'm going to have Narrow, and we're going to Sigurdsson, and literally
Sigurdsson and Gomez in midfield.
Everything that people say we can't do, we did in that game.
How many passes did we have that day? 340. So this is the difference, right? Yeah, because I checked this.
So we were more
direct.
Someone
last night, right? And I thought I'll have a look at the game.
We got 500 Saturday, didn't we?
So I look at the game and what's the difference? What we did this game compared to that game is, like you say, we played 3-4-3.
Pressed them high.
You had Joe Hart in goal, fair enough, whatever. But then we had 300 passes, which to me means we didn't go into that game trying to control it. What we did is we tried to bring Burnley out by letting them have more of the ball, which is smart because the more Burnley have the ball, the higher up the field they get. If you then go direct, try and get in the channels.
I did say this to you the other day. You're right. They play the low block. They don't want the ball, but they will take the ball, won't they?
But this is the other way of doing it. Without if you can, there's 2 ways to do it. This is one by drawing them out. Sarri does it exceptionally well when he was at Napoli, where he drew teams out by passing it around the back quick, let them press them, they beat them upfield. But that's one way to do it. Or the Pep way, which is basically out like movement off the ball. Now people go, he's got the best players. Yes, he has, but a lot of those players have improved to the point where it's second nature to them to make them runs now. They run off the ball. You look at Sterling, Liverpool to Sterling now.
Yeah.
It's totally different. Sarri as well when he was at Schalke compared to what he is now.
Sterling makes the same run every game, about 27 times.
Exactly.
And it's like, how are you going to stop him doing it?
Thierry Henry had to make those runs, one of the best players in the world at the time, even if he got the ball or not. At Everton, it's static. And this is where I have the disconnect of Monday to Friday on the training pitch. Are they teaching them these movements, like you say, with it's called tactical periodisation, where they're going up the pitch in the tactical way? And then they get up front and it's like, we need our best players to work there.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's not going to work in the Premier League because teams, because of the way, in Portugal it'll work all day because there's not, like when teams get relegated, there's no financial concerns the same as there's here. Here, teams are fighting for their lives. Yeah. Teams fight for their lives and play not to win.
We've got a 29%, said that before, 29% shooting accuracy. Portuguese fella, they were asking him about Marco Silva. And he said, well, you know, he's a good coach, well respected, blah, 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 blah. He said, but Everton's biggest problem, he said, and I've just had a little look, is they've got a 29% shooting accuracy. He said, so with that 29% shooting accuracy, which is only shots on target, by the way, goal conversion from 29%. We've scored, what have I said, 6 goals this season in 8 games, and 3 were in 1 game. So it tells you immediately that A, we're not taking enough shots, or even if in the games where we are having shots, we're not hitting the target. So
what's the shots
exactly? So what are we doing in that final third? So and this is where I will criticise him, if it is how it's being portrayed as like work the defence, work your midfield shape, off the cuff in the final third, you can't. I accept that you do play a majority, well, certainly a percentage off the cuff in the final third. Of course you do, because that's what your better players are there for. That's why your best players are generally attackers. But if you telling people to make runs and having ideas of little small side, like City play small sided games all over the pitch, links 1-2 when you're in, 1-2 when you're in, rondo there, do this here, movements overlapping. You have to practice all of that.
It's patterns of play, yeah. So you don't be wrong, as you say, you do need that off the cuff stuff, but in training you should essentially have patterns of play. If you look at there's a great article about Bayern in 2014 on a German tactics website. It's called Spielverlagerung, and basically it's the same patterns of play Man City play now.
Yeah.
That needs to be, well, Pep Guardiola, of course. So that's what you need to. That's embedded in the team now. Again, they'll maybe make decisions off the cuff because you've got players like De Bruyne. But don't want them
to be robots.
No, but that's the problem with Everton, because when the ball goes out wide, you've seen it in loads of stills. People, David Alexander-Hughes did it. I think other people have done it, where they just stand there in the bottom. There's big, massive gaps down the side.
I think like Richarlison's the biggest indicator of the way we play. He just gets wasted out wide. He should be in the box all the time.
He should be playing the same role as
Salah. In all fairness, he's our best striker.
He should be playing as Salah.
Like, no, but he's our best centre. If you put Richarlison through the middle over the season, you get 20 goals.
But if you used
the way we play, not the way we play, I
think probably he's best at attacking headers than anyone.
He's got the ability, hasn't he? He's great in the air.
No, I think he would. I think in a 4-3-3,
play him narrow,
play right, left, or centre, he would. The way we play him right now, he'll never. And if you played the front right now, he wouldn't. It comes
the
down,
service as well.
It comes down
Moise Keane. People are having a go at Moise Keane. We don't create anything. No, but we don't create anything for him.
He can't hold the ball. He wants the ball to his feet, not his chest.
We have a situation, and this is down to the manager, because it'll be personnel more than anything. We were talking we've done a Premier League show, and we were watching the goals, and we were like, Chelsea, look at how many runners they've got. All of a sudden, this is a team that last
Sammy
season
Abraham holding the ball, people going past him.
People are Mount past them, Williams cutting in, you've got Hudson-Odoi, fullbacks, Liverpool swarming over teams, City,
7-8
teams like this. Even teams like West Ham and Palace, Palace had about 8 men in the box. Villa,
always in the
Norwich got battered 5-1 and had all kinds of men in the box. So, and Tom Eaton's made saves and stuff. Everton isn't like that. It's more control the ball and knock it. But I don't know whether we're too robotic. So are we taking too much of what he says? Literally, stand there, don't go there. Move. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is though? That is part of that safeness we were talking about before. In that. You call it tiki. People say it's tiki-taka. It isn't. It's not Pep's tiki-taka. So what tiki-taka actually is he says it's tiki-taka is bullshit, essentially, in the sense that you don't pass for the sake of passing. What Everton are doing is to minimise risk. You're passing it left, right, but round the circle to minimise losing the ball and giving the teams the ball. Now that's great if you want to win 0-0. But as soon as we can see the goal, it's out the window.
Yeah.
So unless you're attacking,
and that seems to be what happens.
But you look at last season, and sometimes I say against the big teams, they give us more space. But look at West Ham, we went out and attacked them straight away, put them under pressure. We don't put teams under pressure because all it is
but remember,
you go, all right, so you beat the man right, and then instead of going like, well, attack that space, we pass it dead slow.
Well, remember I said to you the other day, and I've said it to you as well, and said it on the final word. That's the confusion for me. That's where I'm confused. We got to the end of the season, finished the season strongly. It looked like he'd come up with a way of playing for this set of players. I know we've lost Zuma and I know we've lost Garner, but like I said the other day, neither of them were attacking players anyway. So it is what
Garner
it is.
Was blamed half the time for lack of
attacking problems.
Exactly.
So we look like we found a way of playing. We've improved the level of player in the squad. And yet we've come out this season and all of a sudden now it's like it's the Martinez era now. It's can we get 600 passes? Can we just...
It's like Koeman though, again, he doesn't know his best team. He's square peg round all his job. You go, right, Iwobi, I bought Iwobi, he's a good player. I can't drop 6 and go because he scores, so I'll stick Iwobi at left wing.
And at the expense of the best partnership in the club.
Yeah, and then you go, all right, so we've got Richarlison, right, he helps Coleman defend. Not that he's our best attacker, he helps Coleman cover that side. Let's get chalk on his boots where he doesn't want to be all the time. See, this is to me like manager decisions, and this is why I say to him he has to go, because it's inevitable.
What?
You going somewhere?
I'm going somewhere in a minute.
It's inevitable.
What happens next then? Who do you want to come in?
You see, do you know what though?
If he loses his job,
who gives him monkeys when he loses his job, because he ain't staying, he's garbage. Let's call it as it is.
Let me just say though, whether
you
sack him now, Baz, or you sack him at the end of the season, you know in your heart of heart. No, you know in your heart of hearts.
Well, I don't know because I'm not Marcel Brands. Marcel Brands might be.
I tell you what, like,
do you think he can ever turn around to consistency?
I don't know. If he goes right, me and Andy will pay for the laser surgery to have the tattoo of him taken off your arm, right?
With a scarf around his neck.
Silver across his knuckles.
Bronze on his back.
Yeah. So if he's sacked,
come on.
Who'd you...
Right, okay, so I'll name names in a minute, but what I'll say is, for me, you look at the team, and I pick managers based on what to get the best out of the team, because you can get a big name in, but they may not suit what the players got, and that is so important to it. Like, Marcel Brands has to pick someone that he thinks is getting the best out of his signs because his reputation's on the line. So we'll look at we've got teams of players who can play a high press. We've seen that under Silva at times. We've got pace playing a high press. We've got pace in the side. We can play 4-3-3. We can play 3 at the back if we get another centre back in January. What I want is someone who's tactically flexible, who looks at each game and goes, okay, I don't need to change it entirely, but I need to tweak things because there's their problem. Teams against Everton now every other week, they might not attack the right hand side, but they attack Michael Keane and Seamus Coleman every week. Everton play the same way. We don't pinpoint problems. So I'm thinking of managers who play multiple systems. So I like Marcelo Gallardo, and what I will say about the cons about Marcelo Gallardo is he's never managed in Europe, of course. He speaks limited English. I did ask a journalist, Peter Coates, his name is Galazzo Argentina, about him last night. He speaks limited English. He spent a year in America.
Peter Quartes?
No, he's actually English. Sebastian's brother. And for me, I watch him he's a winner with the River Plate. The most successful manager in the history. He's going to win his 3rd Copa Libertadores probably this season. That's their continental competition. So he'd be my number 1 choice because I rate him as a manager. Whether he's the right choice
we're not getting him.
No, probably not. He's not going to be available.
We're not getting him.
The second choice would probably be Adi Hutter.
I don't even know who that is, so we're not getting him either.
Hold on. He's Frankfurt manager. He's fantastic. He won the title for Salzburg. He's won the title for Young Boys in Switzerland. Now people go, oh, Marcel Brands, Marco Silva won that. Okay, fair enough. You watched him in Germany last season. They were so good in the Europa Cup. Sorry, whether he's the right manager, that's the problem.
Right, he's not the right manager.
Well, you just told
me. It's time to grow up, Andy.
No,
right, put your textbooks down.
Pochettino wasn't these people that you talking about when he became a Tottenham manager. So just hold on.
He was the Southampton manager.
That's for 6 months. For a year, 8 months.
For a year.
Yeah, great. That does just Simeone had 9 months in Catania when he became Atletico's manager.
Catania's not even a real place.
It's a place in Italy, right? So let me just say, you need to pick a manager who fits the squad and get the best out of the players. When you say, and I know your names that you're going to come out with, and I'm going to say to you now,
I'm just
these two managers that you're going to name, both of you, right, are fantastic managers.
Yeah.
But they don't play the way this team can play, and they don't suit the staff. And 2 of them are known for not being able to work with directors. And whether they ask for Manchester United, they're only asking for them so they can do their bidding, not because they have their own mind.
Mike Phelan can work with directors of football. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
So go on then. Come on.
It's Benitez, isn't it? That's the only name for me at the moment. Only name. And I appreciate, honestly, Andy, I do appreciate all the names you've just thrown at me there. And I'm surprised you never threw the Ajax manager at me. Or do you know?
But hold on. So
generally, just don't think he's got a chance.
No, but I look at Ajax, right, and I go, most of their players have played in the system.
He gets the though.
He
gets the in January.
Should have won the Martinez $2.5 million. But you can close your eyes at Ajax, and there's someone going to make a 3rd-man run for you because they're all trained to do that bread.
We could get John Eising, yeah.
You're bread. John Eising is their youth coach.
No. No, I honestly don't think there's anyone past Benitez. Mourinho.
No one gets past him, is what you're saying.
Mourinho, yes, maybe. Yes, maybe. Isn't that what
this Iranian's got the dough, he says he has.
Mourinho, listen, these are easy names you can pluck out. I appreciate that. My limited knowledge of...
It's unlimited. I understand why people want to go with a Premier League proven manager.
Just because I don't know the manager of FC Catalonia wine mixer doesn't mean, I'm not wrong. Benitez ticks literally every single box.
The fucking wine mixer.
We're going to have to put it explicit now.
Yeah.
Spice.
Just because he, for me, ticks every single box, and he's what I think we need now, and it's what we need to just be secure and safe for the next 4 years. And I know that's not what people want to hear.
Not at all.
It is though. No. Listen, don't baffle me with science. It is what we need for the next few years.
We need Liverpool's second most best manager since 1990, do we? That's the flip side. Benitez, like, you see 4 years, right, and he's a great coach, and he get basically grand results out of nothing, right? Okay. He has 3 bad games. Yeah. He's the ex-Liverpool manager. You know it's on.
Doesn't matter.
It's on.
I appreciate that. I've said that in the past, and I've said that on the record. He doesn't work well with others either.
Well, he wouldn't as soon as he doesn't get what he wants.
He wouldn't get the job. Hang on. He worked at Newcastle. He went down with Newcastle.
He starts on the chairman 3 days after he got there. That's what he does.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Basically, he creates divisions between the fans and the club. That's all he's Liverpool, Inter Milan, Napoli, Aurelio De Laurentiis didn't give him a player he wanted. He started on him.
Do you not think that he'd get pretty much whatever he wanted at Everton? No.
Apart from Chelsea did a great job, but apart from that, would you think he's done a good job? Newcastle was great, yeah, but that was on the same level.
Napoli did a
decent
job.
Champions League
wasn't great.
No,
Inter wasn't great.
Yeah, Sarri took it to a completely different level.
Okay, that's fine.
By the way, if Sarri was available for Juventus, by the way, guess who's going to get sacked? We'll probably discuss this on the Footy Show. But Lucien Favre is going to go.
I know he is,
and I love Lucien Favre.
But why do we want managers that keep failing?
He's no. He fails at a level. He's a classic overachiever, and we are a team that needs to overachieve.
I just laugh. I seen people last night going, "If this Martellino gets the Milan job, my head's going to explode." A lad who's been sacked 4 times in 7 seasons.
Come on, who do you want then?
I honestly don't know. I want Silva to turn it around.
But
if he did, then Benitez maybe, because I think he's a brilliant coach. I know what you're saying, and where I am with the whole thing now, right? And the romantic side of it is great. We'll get this young manager in. He'll come in. He'll have us playing like Klopp does and Pep, and we'll win games. I don't think Everton can afford that anymore. No, just hear me out, right? I don't think we can gamble at the moment, because we seem to be going from one gamble to the next. They're not working. Martinez got the job, and he should never have been in the conversation.
He's a bigger manager.
Never, ever.
What? Marco Silva was Watford manager.
No, hang on.
These people I'm talking about aren't coming from clubs.
No, I know.
All right, let me stop. Estoril, second to bottom when he took over, got them promoted, got them in the Europa League with the smallest budget in Portugal. Went to Sporting Lisbon, third in the league, won the cup, was sacked because he didn't put a club suit on. Went to Olympiacos, holds the record in Europe for the most games won at the start of the season. Still, was there years ago. They wanted him to stay, left because he wanted to come to the Premier League. Came to the Premier League, had 11 players at Hull and 11 points. Went to the last day without keeping them up. Went to Watford, they were great to watch. We lifted our skirts up, he threw his hand in, and he's come to Everton. So I get it, right? But let's not say, Eddie Hutter won with Salzburg. Silva's won stuff. I'm not having it. You can't have a go at Marco Silva and then give me Gallardo or give me Hutter at the moment. You can't.
I can.
Right? No. But I haven't finished what I was saying. Benitez, right? To go back to Benitez. The man he won the league with Valencia. He lost in the European Cup final with Valencia. He won the Liverpool had the worst team ever to have won a Champions League. Ever had Jimmy Traore in it. They won the Champions League. They come runners up. Well, yeah. They were the worst, to be fair. They come runners up in the league in 2009, didn't he? Then he left. He's been gone from Liverpool for 9 seasons. It's not like he'd left last week. Yeah. But went to Chelsea when they didn't want him. They all hated him. He went in, got them in the Champions League. They were 8th when he took over. They won the Europa League and got in the Champions League. Done well at Napoli. All right, Real Madrid. Although Balogun says he done well at Madrid, I didn't see it like that. You might say it differently.
No, it was a personality.
So he was all right. And then obviously Newcastle with an absolute garbage team. Let's be honest.
No money.
And no money kept them up. Right, that alone says to me he would have Everton in Europe without a shadow. Even if he took over on Friday, Everton had finished top 6 this season. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed for me. Because he's tactically better than any of the others. United could turn it around. They got a good manager. But, and I know what you're saying, honestly I do. But I just feel Koeman, Silva, Martinez, Allardyce, I just feel like we're going like, let's see if this works.
I get you. I do get
whereas if you brought him in...
And what mentality?
So,
this is a winning mentality.
No, so you've got Marco Silva, right, his best results were at Estel, right? Me and you could win the title at Olympiacos with our eyes closed. I know we had a great effort.
I could win the league in Austria with my eyes closed.
You probably could with Salzburg, I agree. I'm not trying to say Adi Hutter's...
Jesse Marsh will walk it, and he's just come out of Red Bulls, New York,
but
MLS.
I agree what you're saying, right, on that front, but my point is you can't say just because they're up and coming, they're all in the same band.
He must be good, because you can't win anything with young boys.
I wouldn't... I know,
that's the famous saying.
I wouldn't... That's not the reason I don't want any of those people.
I know yours is
there's a little bit of what
culture thing.
There's a little bit of what Baz has just said. I just think we need to start being grown-ups. I think we need to stop being fantasists about this football club and understand where we actually are. I know those people that you've just mentioned, they'll all be great when we're on this sure footing and everything's rosy.
Yeah.
And you can almost you can almost make mistakes, but still be all right because the money's coming through the door and you don't have to worry about getting all these players off your books and all that.
Say we got one in. Listen, you know what? I'm not totally like saying don't do
I
any of
understand
that.
what you're saying.
What I'm saying is they come in. I just worry with our players that you bring another one of them in, like Adi Hutter comes in or whatever, and they're looking at him going, "Fuck are you?" Right? Whereas because we're having to deal with modern day football. You said it before, and it was bang on. The pressure in Portugal isn't the same as the pressure here. The pressure in Switzerland, the pressure in Germany isn't. The money here, which is why people like Hodgson, people like Pellegrini, people like Pulis has had so many jobs, Allardyce, because these clubs look and go, we can't drop out of this. We can't drop out of it, right? Everton are trying to go somewhere else. And I think if you brought Rafa Benitez into our dressing room straight away, players, I don't think, would look at him and go, well, what have you done? Because you just go, well, I've won this, what have you done? And I think we're at a stage where our players need to respect the manager, respect what he's done, and have winners. At the moment, we've got players... We're the only
club who'll be doing that, though.
That's fine.
No, I'm just saying, what would happen then? And I'm not saying we shouldn't do this, because I think sometimes doing the old things can sometimes be the new thing. You know, but you look at everyone else and the way the leagues are going, there's no Allardyce in the league anymore. There's no Pulis. People are looking for managers. Graham Potter. I'm not saying he'd be good. He's off for that.
He's just starting.
That's what I mean. But you look at that. You look around Europe. The managers were all on the up and coming. Nagelsmann now. Obviously, Nagelsmann's just showing like
he's gone. He's not going.
Yeah, so I agree.
But in 2 years, if say Benitez coming for 18 months, then, right? Say Benitez coming this year, got Everton into Europe, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Next season. And then all of a sudden Everton were at a level then where they were consistent. So they were doing well. Bit of money, we're in Europe, looking good. And then Nagelsmann's ready to leave Red Bulls, right? And Everton are in the Europa League. And people are starting to go to Machiri or to Brands. You know, we want them more. Or Brands might look and go, right, I feel like we're steady now. I feel like we've got a good level of player. We're ready for the next thing. And the next big thing is Nagelsmann. And they've only given Benitez 18 months, right? And they're wearing that down. Then I think you then become a year away from a new stadium and you've got this young, hungry manager who looks like he's going to set the world alight. You go in it together, right? But
there's one word. It's one word. It's stability. It's stability. The club.
We could just get Sam Allardyce for that, though.
Yeah, I know, but...
Is Benitez more attacking than Allardyce? I did call him
he is because
the Spanish Allardyce at one time.
The problem with Benitez is we've only seen him at Newcastle, and that's what sticks in the memory, and they have to play a certain way to get it.
I remember him, you know, when... And I don't like really saying this, but I remember him at his second to last season at Liverpool, or the 09 season, right, when he had Gerrard and Torres. They were absolutely brilliant. So they scored loads and loads of goals. They went to Old Trafford and spanked them 4-1 because they were tactically brilliant. They'd walk over teams.
That combination as well.
But they'd also walk over teams they should, and then teams where it was a bit more difficult. His tactical nous would come in.
I think we've put ourselves. Sorry, Ian. I think we've put ourselves in a position, and this is by not having a clear path. We've put ourselves in a position now where we need just stability and. we've had that period where we maybe should have appointed one of those kind of managers you're talking about.
It was when Koeman came in,
and we didn't.
He was a nightmare.
And we had our one chance without. I always think what happened with Koeman wasn't a waste of money; it was a waste of an opportunity. There was an opportunity with the money to push on and become this new Everton that we thought we were. And we go on the shows like Ball Street and we're the money people now, and we wasted all that. And then Mashiri's had to take a step back and go, I'm just pissing money up the wall here, and he's had to go more to a position where.
That's why he brought Brands in.
Well, that's more of what he wanted to make.
Could I say to you, because I know you're thinking about Benitez and you go, no. But could Brands be developing everything else?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. While Benitez is just keeping us level. Because at the moment he's trying to. Because I know what you're saying, and what he'll want to do is like a bit like Ajax, a bit like PSV. He'll want to get these steps in place. Yeah. I don't think Benitez, if you're Rafa Benitez and I come to you and go, these two players who are tearing it up quality, I don't think he goes, I want them. I think he goes, right, where are we? Don't forget, Benitez wouldn't take over without assurances, and Everton wouldn't give him the job without assurances. But I think Brands could be developing everything,
which he needs to start doing,
that it helps someone like Nagelsmann, so it's ready to go boom.
But do we have to start again now? And this is what I mean. No, just hold on. No,
we don't.
Wait, just let me finish. Let me finish. So, I'm not saying with Benitez do we have to start again. I'm saying post Benitez, post Mourinho. Just hold on.
Yeah.
So this 2-year period or 3-year period, and 3-year cycles.
Yeah.
Right. So in this 3 years now, you've got Anthony Gordon. You've got other young players coming through of a high quality. Brands' idea is to get them in the first team like he's done at PSV. You bring a Mourinho in, and Rafa, I wouldn't.
I was going to say, because I'll throw Longstaff at you.
I agree with Rafa. Rafa up over here. With Mourinho, though, this is my whole issue: is that he scorches the earth before he leaves. Like he did. Look at Chelsea, De Bruyne, Salah, Lukaku.
But they were winning. When he got
but he has no foresight because he doesn't care about the long term. But this is why Brands has to be the focal point, because he's going to be here behind managers.
Yeah.
Whereas with Jose and even Rafa, I don't think they still see as Everton as their end point.
I think Benitez would. I think Benitez.
Maybe because his reputation.
I think he wants to.
I think it's everything.
I think family and everything.
He lives here.
I think he'd come back.
Do you think he'd definitely take the job?
Yeah, honestly.
I
think he moved back from China because I don't think China. But with Benitez again,
he's been interested in the Everton job for a while.
You don't have to convince you. You can have who you want. I'm just saying. I think.
But I like to be brought round, and I like to understand why you think.
I honestly think. I'm not trying to.
I think it's a good point what you're saying about Brands. I think Brands is trying to get everything done off the pitch at the moment, right?
But he's had to concentrate in the first.
But that's it. But so if you walked up, if you go, well, actually, the fella who's running the team doesn't need his hand holding. He can do it all by his own. You get everything else sorted. You're the director of the club. You're the director of football. You get everything else sorted. The manager who you put in charge, you don't need to worry about him. He'll just sail through, and he might get a 6th, a 7th. Like Moyes did almost, and just get the club to a level where you go, right, we're on a sure footing now, the stadium is all in hand, right, we've got the money, we're building it, everything is fine, we know where we're going, and then you can go, for me, right, who's the manager out there, the young manager who's tearing it up. But I think what we've done in the last few years, we've lost that opportunity with new manager, and where everyone keeps on saying we shouldn't get a new manager because we keep on ripping it up. That's why I want a Benitez, so that you go, this fella, 4 years, no problems. All right, it might be the most exciting 4 years of your life, but you're gonna get the club back to that position. And Benitez gets respect as well. You don't have dickheads like Mason every day going.
That's what Brands is there for.
That's my only worry about people like Benitez and Mourinho, in the sense that they'll go and, can I have a 28-year-old centre back who's 35 million? Brands goes, no. You know what's going to happen. Interview, start causing divisions between Brands. I'm not getting the players that need to win things.
You don't know Everton's media team.
No, this is what happens. This is what happens consistently.
No, I know, but you know what?
Would you rather that happened than the manager continually failing us on the pitch by bad decisions?
No, because what's going to happen then is, I agree with you, and you go, we got 6th, we got 5th, we got 4th, great them seasons. And then after that, when that manager leaves, potentially, they're never going to have to restart again.
No, because you yourself have just said Brands is going to see them up.
If they start division, then...
But I think they start it. Well, Brands is on the board.
Okay,
that's the problem.
So what happens if...
And I don't think he'll sign a manager like that. Because
what happens if it works the other way, where Brands is getting everything done really well off the pitch, and the person we appoint just gets it completely wrong, and we're just in a mess, and we just continue to be in a mess. And I know what you're saying, well, what happens if he gets it right? It'll be better.
But I want our own version of Pochettino. And I know that's maybe 1 in a million, but that's
not failure.
No, but it's not failure though. If you
nice stadium though.
Are you right? So would you take
two pitches?
Two pitches.
You'd walk over hot coals for them second place.
No, I know.
And that's when I look at a young manager. That's what I want of our own Pochettino. I don't want flavour of the month Joe, Marco Silva.
Benitez is not flavour.
No, I agree with that. And that's why I'm defending my point. I agree.
What about if Benitez come in and won us a trophy though? Yeah. And ended that.
Great, right? That's what I want.
Would you boo that?
I'm trying to say the only player I've ever booed. The only player I ever booed. The only person I ever booed. Well, it was Martinez, but I also booed David Moyes when he sometimes was team selection, whatever. My point is, and you probably nearly put me off there, but I've got it back. Man, I'm not. You've done it.
Thankfully, because this is the longest podcast ever. And it's only got 2 parts.
Apologies.
Go on, listen to 2 podcasts. Go on, finish it off. Come on.
You say about Benitez. We're talking about thinking about that.
Come on, vinegar strokes.
Okay, so we win the trophy, right? Do we just want to win a trophy and go back to 8th or 9th? No, we want sustained success.
Of course we do.
And sustained success comes through planning and executing plan after plan after plan.
You're right.
But, and these managers don't do that because they're short-termists.
Benitez in charge of the
it's
team.
It's never been in charge of
While Brands gets the off the pitch right.
Okay.
Yes, until he doesn't sign.
Do you know any of those managers you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Do you honestly think they're Everton long-term managers? Do you think they wouldn't come here for 3 years and then soon as...
But I've got no problem with that, right?
Yeah.
I've got no problem with that.
You've got no problem with that? You just don't like Spanish managers? No, but it's because they don't
scorch the earth when they've gone, though. There's a difference.
So you're saying Benitez would scorch the earth?
I think he wouldn't play young players because he's focused on with the results.
Give Longstaff a debut.
Right,
I agree with you on Mourinho.
He's played about 3 young kids.
But he has to at Newcastle. Look at Liverpool. Who did he bring? He ruined the academy. He sacked Stevie Highway because he wanted Spanish people.
To be fair, I agree.
Ruined Liverpool.
I agree with all that.
The structures in place
I agree with all that.
But he's never worked well.
What if a manager? That's the problem. All right, I agree with everything you just said.
Just so you get me off the point.
Yeah. No, I do agree. But we're talking about a man who's coming to his late 50s now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Late 50s. If someone says to him, right, you get to live in the city you live in, you get to manage the club
that you used to call small.
That's fine. I've got no problem with that. We used to call him a fat waiter. You get to.
Right, he's a maitre d', whatever.
You get money, right? You get someone who'll do all the work for you, right? I think a man of his age might go, actually, that sounds pretty good, rather than me having to do everything like I used to. Do you know what I mean? Do you think in China that he's going out scouting all kinds of players? Or doing... What do you think he does in China? Genuinely?
Plays Jenga.
No, but this is where the control freak of a manager, like a Mourinho, like Benitez, have to have the fingers in it all, because they are the clubs.
I agree with that, but I do think that...
And this is where the style of thing that we're looking for is that system where the director of football is the number one at the club, and then it's the managers interchangeable.
All right,
bringing in those managers who think they're better than the club, because they probably have been. Let's be honest, where Everton have been.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's it's all good.
Do you know what? No one's wrong and no one's right. Because
I'm right.
He's most definitely not. But I could say I do not want Rafa. No way. He wins us 2 trophies. I'm like, I love you, Rafa. That's what. So exactly. And then we could go.
Flip of a coin.
We get Gallardo who wins us stuff, and I go, oh, I'm right. But that's not.
But then I'll be made up.
Can I just point something out to you? Nobody at Everton knows who Gallardo is. Nobody.
I guarantee that Marcel.
There's nobody there. There's nobody there that knows. Marcel Brands doesn't.
You've been to watch half his players in under 20s.
Winding you up. Don't even. Don't bite. Just end it.
Right, there you go.
Forza Marco. Forza Marco.
Just end it.
Right, there you go. Let me just check the time.
3 hours.
An hour and an hour and a half, basically.
Of quality content.
Quality content, and again, let's
investigative journalism.
Let's end it as we've begun it. Colleen Rooney. Is she
uncovered a collusion?
Is she the one to take the job? We'll never know.
What in the new murder she wrote?
11.
Next week, more after the international break.
Same bat.
Actually, before we go, in terms of next week, because there's no Everton game out, have we had a podcast after the international break yet?
No, we're doing it. It doesn't matter. Listen, it's Everton. Who knows
we'll be able to preview the West Ham game.
And see what Colleen's been up to in the week.
Yeah. 7 days with Colleen. There you go.
I outed Rebecca on Monday. There you go. We're finishing. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Toodles.